Hi, want to know how to haggle for the best price at the Chinese market or I think any other market? Well, today's video covers just that. Hi, my name is Becky of MsBee Group Travel. If this is your first time joining us, please do consider subscribing. On this channel, we talk about all things travel, travel reviews, hotel reviews, and travel trips. Okay, so if you haven't watched my last video about China, please do so. It's in the link regarding my first time as a plus-size woman in China. Do check it out. Today's video is about, and again, this is still on the China theme. Today's video is about haggling at the Chinese markets and what to expect. So let's just jump right in. These are my tips. Okay, number one, I would say have your own Wi-Fi. If not, you have VPN downloaded and also have access to the internet. Okay, that's number one. Okay, I'm not going to do the numbers because I'll probably forget. Anyway, the next tip is to make sure you research the product that you want to buy. If it is for business, even if it's for leisure, research the product that you may want to buy at a specific market. Remember, Chinese markets, you can go to a wholesale or you can go to a mall, but if you go to a specific market, for example, if it's a clothing market, if it's electronic market, they will have loads and loads of other shops around that market all selling the same product. So the best thing for you is to research your product, know what your product is and how much it's going to cost you and how much it would cost you in your own home country before you go into the markets and start to get prices and trying to haggle. Number three, I would simply say, as you know, most of the people watching this are going to be going there, whether to buy something cheaper or you're on holiday and you want to grab yourself a bargain, have a conversion chart. I carry a little card and I make some for my team members or to my group members that kind of just shows that £1 is equivalent to 12 yen, whatever the exchange rate is for that week, or then £5 is going to be this amount of yen. So that way, when they're negotiating, they can quickly mentally put it in their head. Of course, the market holders or the shop will have a calculator where you can calculate and say, okay, this is how much it will be, this is how they show you. Okay, next tip, have a specific bottom price yourself. Okay, so they may tell you that this is going to be 100 yen, but if you in your mind and your research and what you want to achieve have a bottom price of, for example, 25 yen, then no matter what that person says, if you've looked at the product and you like it and you like the quality, then you're just going to say no, that's your bottom price, and let's start the negotiation from there. Okay, because the negotiation process can be quite lengthy, and then back and forth, and they'll tell you, oh no, this is the best price, and especially if it's where we went to the electrical market, there's about 3 or 4 of these. So the person next to us say, yeah, it's good price, madam, good price. But remember, these people work together. They've got shops near each other, so they're gonna say positive things about each other. So you have your bottom price. If it's not being matched, then simply take you to my next tip is walk away. There are so many other retailers or wholesalers in the similar area, especially if you go to a specific area selling specific products. I'm just going to reference to do with electrical products at this stage. Where we went, and I will put a link of the areas to do with these products. There was like 3 major buildings of these products. So walking away was an easy thing because then I could go and see if I could compare. But what I tried to do is compare with somebody who is at the far end of the same market, because similar ones, they know each other, they can send a message to each other or say something to each other to maintain the same price. And another thing to remember is some of the people who are selling in these wholesale, they may not actually own the shop. or these little corner shops, they may actually be working for someone. So one person could have a specific product and they've put a base price. So you will identify that by when you've asked people a certain price and you're finding that at every store you get, it's around that price. Okay, so it might be that, well, this is the maximum that they can do for this price. And then at that stage, then you either renegotiate your prices, or do you really want it that bad? Okay, another tip: don't be intimidated by, madam, good price, very cheap, original. No, ask to see the product, touch it, feel it, ask whatever questions, okay, and then tell them your best price. If you're someone who's like me, I kind of get tired about it, and because you're coming from a country where we don't really do all this negotiation. You go into a shop, it's £5, you pay £5, but there is, most of the stuff doesn't have prices on them, but you have to ask and then they tell you. So it kind of gives you that impression that maybe you're getting a different price and somebody else is getting a different price, but don't be intimidated by them saying, oh, madam, it's a good price, And next tip: walk away if it is the price is not right. I'll say this again, and I'm not sure if I've said this before. Walk away to check the other stores. Walk away to check the other wholesales and see what price they're comparatively running at. But also, as you check the prices, check the quality. Okay, because I will say this: we bought some data banks where they said the megahertz was this a certain amount, but because I was not familiar, I just wanted one to charge my phone as I travel, and the other lady said, no, the reason my one is this price is because it is actually genuinely 2 gig or whatever, and these ones, some of them will say 2 gig, and it's not actually, it will do 500 or 1 gig, and which is why you will see the same product, the same packaging, will be cheaper than what I'm selling. Okay, so next tip is ask them for their WeChat. If you find something that you like, or you gel with a supplier, or you gel with somebody in the market that you think, okay, this is the best thing for me, ask them for their WeChat info. Again, even if you're not going to buy, just ask them for their WeChat info, and if you should have access to the internet, scan it, message them there so you see you're talking to the right person. If you want, if they want to, you can also take a picture with them just for memory and say, look, when I order, I want you to remember who it is, so you know what type of quality that I like, and and so forth. Most of the times they're very happy to do this, and especially if they know that you're going to be, or you're most possibly going to be a repeat customer, then they will be more flexible to you. Another tip: if you are thinking of buying in bulk, once they tell you the initial price, do advise them or ask them how much the price would be if you, for example, bought 10 or 20 or 30. As you know, in the wholesale game, the more you buy, the cheaper it becomes. Even if it's buying a pair of trainers or a couple of, if you're going to buy 4 or 5, they may lower the price for you because you're getting a few more products rather than, one individually. Okay, so, and if you are going to the market with a guide, most of the products that they want to sell you, that they have in their display shops, may not be actually what they will give you. So if you're going with a guide and this is going to be bulky for you to carry around the market, what I would say is place your order, place your deposit, and then walk around until those products are returned or are available, then you can come and pick them up. Or if they're going to deliver them to the hotel, your guide can then WeChat the balance of the money, or when they deliver to your hotel, then you can pay the balance of the money that is that is owed. It is quite common practice in these markets sometimes, especially if you're buying quite a few more products, for them to say it'll give us 5-10 minutes or come back after an hour. Okay, in the electrical market, another next tip, don't remember what tip number it is, but in the electrical market, I have found that asking for, they have display products and they will play these for you, and I'm just going to give you an example. I'm going to show you, this is a Bluetooth that I bought in the electrical market. I had no knowledge of whether it's a brand or whatever. It's just a plain thing. I wanted a Bluetooth so we can play music in the in the hotel room. I had no idea what brand or type it is. All I heard was the sound was good, And I thought, well, this would be good. And I was willing to spend about £10 or less to actually, get, to purchase the product. So when she played it, it sounded so good, and she played it on her phone. So I said to one of them, can I connect my phone and I will play my songs? Because remember, some of their phones are already configured with bass and this, that, the other, and it sounds different. She was happy to do that. And then when I said, okay, I'm going to get one, she said, okay, how many pieces? I said, well, I'm going to get my friend one. And, we all kind of said, okay, we'll chip in. We all wanted one, so we wanted 5. And I specifically said, I want the one you've got on display. And she said, no. I said, no, I want the display one. I don't want the one that's coming. She said, no, it's all the same. It's all the same. I said, no, but this is the one that I heard the sound from. She did not want to give me this. And it made me think, have they got the better one on display? And the ones that we get are maybe not of a better quality. So, I then said, okay, that's fine. If I'm not getting the one that you've got on display, and I am saying I do not mind that it's been used before, that's the one I want. If you're not willing to give me this, then we don't want to buy anything. So in the end we just left, and I didn't buy the display one, but another shop that we did this, I did get the display one. I will say that it wasn't around £10, it was more like £15, so it was so I think the other one may not have been to the megahertz or whatever that they've said. Okay, so as a rough guide, depending on which country you're coming from and depending on what it is that you buy, I would say haggling is the norm in Chinese markets, and if you don't, you just get away with paying whatever price that they do. They know that you're novice, they pay, they give you a receipt, you go. You are expected to haggle. It can get intense at times, and again, don't be scared to stand your ground and say, no, this is what I will pay. As a guide, if they start a price at like 100 yen, and depending on the product, I will probably start a quarter of the price that they've given me. Or if it's it's obviously going to be way over my budget price, I always start, okay, if it's 100 yen, I'll say no. I'll if I have a certain price in mind of, for example, £5, then I will say no, not 100 yen, maybe 30 yen, depending on the exchange rate at that time. And she said most of them will say, okay, no, okay, just a little bit more. And when they say just a little bit more, I say, no, this is my final price. Do not be afraid to walk away, because the good thing about China is there's so many markets, and when you get to a place like a whole area where they all sell clothes or wholesale, or they sell this, there will be somebody else selling the same similar products. So do not be afraid to haggle or walk away, or to stick to your original price. Okay, now the last tip that I'm going to give, which is very, very important, is when you do purchase your products, and depending on your time or what it is that you buy, please do check the products. Extensively check the products if you can, because remember, you are going to go away. Don't just take it on face value that exactly what you bought. If it means that you are there opening 100 boxes, then you're there. Or if they send them to you at the hotel, then before you hand over the final balance, check them. I will say this because I have traveled with ladies, and indeed to myself this has happened, where you buy a certain product, and in this case it was just clothing, but it was a certain size that we wanted. That size, plus size, was put at the top, and at the bottom they did put the same quality of dress, but it was the smaller sizes. So they ran out, and they just thought, no, we just put those at the bottom. So that wasn't, the market for what we had wasn't for that specific size. So it was a bit disheartening. But then again, we'd packed and we'd shipped and we'd gone. So if it does, do check your stuff when you do purchase from, but don't be afraid to haggle, and also don't be afraid to check the product before you leave. If you found this video helpful, please do leave some feedback in the comments section below. It really helps me out to create more videos and know more of what you want. Okay, so as always, thank you so much for watching, and catch you on the next video.